This is one of those things that you don't know you need until you need it. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. Today we're going to have some fun because we're going to be making something that you don't really think about until you need it. But today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this terrific little bifold item. So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera to give you a closer look. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all. So here's a closer look at what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making this beautiful 5.5 by 6 inch bifold card. And I made an envelope for it. And I'll show you how to make this envelope, and I'll show you how to expand the size of your envelope if it's not quite as long as you want it to be. So stick around for that because I think you'll find that very handy for some of the cards that you might make in the future. But this is a nice bifold card. I made it using a medium weight to heavyweight cardstock. So it's a pretty hefty card. And like I said, it's a bifold opening, and I am closing mine using a magnetic closure. You can hear that. So when you open it, this is what you see first. So we have these two pockets on the side, and in the pockets, I just have some stickers that I layered onto background paper so that they would really pop. And I put them in both pockets, and my card is for a friend. So all of my little message cards have to do with friendship. I get the question a lot of, what do you do with something like this? You do the same thing that you do with a greeting card that you buy in the store. When you purchase a greeting card in the store, it doesn't have all of these little extras. But for the person getting this greeting card, when they open it, they see all of these little thoughts that you have about them. And then just like with a greeting card, we write our message. So you can tuck in a gift card, you can tuck in some cash. You would use this in the same way that you would use a greeting card. You just have some extra space to tuck items in. So I'm going to lift up here. So this does lift. And we have that message that says my circle of friends. But then here, when you open it, I have another sticker that I've placed. It says, if friends were flowers, I'd pick you. And then I can write a sweet little message here. Then when I open this, I have a photo mat that says friends are flowers that never fade. I can place a photo of my friend, or I can place photos of us together. It all depends on what you want to do, but I think that this is a very creative and personal way to send a greeting card. So very easy to make, nothing fancy, very simple. Here's how we make it. So I'm going to bring in what I'll be using on this project. At Hobby Lobby, they sell these little pads, and it's just mats, but they have a nice floral border around them. So that's what I'm using to dress up my stickers that I get from my friendship sticker pack. These are also available at Hobby Lobby. Then I have some cut aparts that I'll probably be using. I have a sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch white cardstock. I'll be cutting this down to use it in various spots here on the project. Then I have a scrap piece, and I think this is about 4 by 12. Then I have two pieces of 12 by 12. One that is a lightweight piece, and I'll be using that for the envelope. It's lightweight, just like copier paper. And then this paper, which is a medium to a heavyweight. This is what I'll be using for the card. And then I'll probably pull in just a few strips of scrap to use as accents throughout the project. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and take my 12 by 12. And on one 12-inch side, I'm going to score at 3. Rotate it to the opposite 12-inch side and score at 3. So my scores are here and here. Now I'm going to turn this one time, and I'm going to score at 3.5. Then I'm going to take it, turn it again, and turn it again. And that 3.5-inch score is now over here, and we're going to score at 3. So now I'm going to fold and burnish all of my scores. the first set of scores that we made at 3, turned it and made it at 3 again, those are the top and the bottom. So I'm going to take my finger blade and I am just going to do a slight angle cut on both sides of the score mark. So one here and one here. Then I'm going to turn it and do the same thing here. So let's do that slight angle and angle. Slight angle and angle. So now that we have it like this, we can go ahead and take these pieces and fold them up. But before I do, I want to go ahead and place a magnet on this side. So I am just going to take a little magnet, place it right there so that it's hitting right in here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, take this magnet, smush it around in the glue, and we'll let that dry. Now I'm going to take some glue and along the edge here, just add some glue so that we can create a nice little pocket. I really don't have to worry about this sticking flat here because that magnet is raised, so my paper is not hitting that glue that I put around the magnet. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Let's just add a little bit of glue. Let's fold up and get that nice and stuck. So now we have this piece out of the way. What I'm going to do is I am going to take these tabs here and I'm going to reduce them. And I'm just going to let the X marks be the guide. So I'm just going to follow this line across, cut it with my finger blade. You can put yours back in your trimmer if you want. And I'm just cutting like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and just angle a little bit, like that. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So I am just cutting along that mark there. Just identify a mark where you want to start cutting and either place it in your trimmer or go ahead and just eyeball that cut. And y'all, I'm okay with eyeballing because this is handcrafted. It is not going to be perfect. And I can say that now, but early on it took me a while to get to the point of saying, okay, it's handcrafted. It's not going to be perfect. Accept it the way that it is with all of its little imperfections. But eventually I got there and I'm okay with it. So I'm going to take just a little bit of glue, place some glue there. Let's fold that over. Take some glue, place some glue right here. Fold this over. So I'm going to find a couple of cut aparts that I'll be using right here on this section and this section. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this set of cut aparts and cut it. And then I'm going to score this at 3 because I want to create a little cut apart card so we will have a place to write. And so my cut apart card is going to go right here, and then I'll take another card and place it on top so that you'll see that first, and then when you lift up you'll see my cut apart card. So I am just going to take some glue. You can use tape on this, but I am just going to do it with glue. Place a little bit of glue on the back. Take my little cut apart card. And put it right there. I can open it and go in, get everything nice and stuck. Then I can fold over here. And I think I'm going to take the one that says hello and put it right there. So now I'll take the glue and I'll put it at the top. Like that. And so now we have this piece here, folds up. We have this piece, we can write our message. And then we have this piece, we can place a photo mat, which is what we're going to do right now. So I have a piece of scrap that is 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. Then I'm going to take my white mat and I'm going to cut that at 5. By 5 1/2. Then we'll add some tape to the back of our white mat, and we will place that down onto our 5 1/4 by 5 3/4 inch mat, like that. Now I can add some more tape to the back. We're going to take this piece and let's place it on the inside. So now we have our mat on the inside. We have this part and we have this part. So I am going to cut out a couple of mats that match this color here so that I can put them here and here. So I am just going to cut my mats at 3/4 inch. And then I can put them here and I can put them here. Just decorative pieces on which I will lay something else. So I am going to take some of my tear tape and add some tear tape to the backs of both pieces. So now I'm going to peel away my backers. And we're going to place this down. Where you put it, it's really up to you. But I am just following the little print marks there. And then I'll take this one and do the same thing. So now I'm going to flip it over and just trim away the excess. And y'all, isn't this easy? I'm going to let you in on a little secret in a minute. Some of you might have already figured it out, but I'll let you in on it in just a minute. Okay, so we have our piece like this. We have this, we have this. We have this piece that goes up and this piece that goes over. So we're pretty good. And now we just need to decorate. So I am going to take a piece of scrap white and put it on the inside. And I'm going to cut my piece at 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. And let me go ahead and just add some tape. And I'm going to place this down. Right there. Now I'm going to bring in my little friendship book, find some stickers that I like. I'm going to take this mat first. And I'm going to put my mat right in there because I'm going to find a sticker to put on top of that mat And I think I'm going to take this one that says your best friend is the one who brings out the best in you. We can place it right there. Get it nice and stuck. I think it's pretty cute. So now I'm going to take these. Add just a few to this. I won't put as many as I did in the first one. I just want to give you an idea of how I'm doing this. So I am just finding some little stickers that fit inside of my sweet little borders here, because these too are stickers. So I'm going to peel away, put that right there, peel away, put this right here, take my finger blade. You can place it in your trimmer, but I'm just going to cut it out like this. And we'll cut this one out like this. And then we'll be able to tuck these in those pockets. So I can tuck one in this pocket. We can tuck one in this pocket, or we can tuck them both in the same pocket. Completely up to you when you're doing a project like this. I'm going to take another one and put it right here. It says best friends forever. I'm going to peel this, and this time I'm going to take this and we're going to put it right there. Easy peasy way to make a nice little card for someone. Now I want to find a few stickers just to decorate here and one to go across the bottom here. So I'm going to go back to my handy dandy book. Again, these are from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to take this one that says a friend is something you can do nothing with and enjoy it. And I'm just going to put it along the bottom here. I'm going to bring in my little sticker sheet, and I think I am just going to add a few stickers just as decorative elements. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to find a nice floral sticker that I can put right here at the bottom. Then I'm going to just add some flowers right there. And I'll add a flower right here. Just adding a little something to the already pretty messaging that is here. So then I'm going to take this one that says enjoy your life. Put it right there. And I'm going to take this one that says thank you very much, because we should say thank you to our friends and family. So I'm going to take this and put it right there. That is pretty much it for the inside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold in, fold over, and fold over. Here's what I did that some of you might not have noticed, and I didn't notice it until after I'd done it, and I decided just to go with it because I want to show you how these little oopsies really should not stop us from completing a craft. Because what I did, and I'll bring this one in to show you, when I made the cuts to make these pockets, I actually should have turned it so that that score I made at 3.5 and the score that I made at 3 were this way, so that when I fold up and fold over, this would overlap onto this piece, and these two side pieces would close to give me the bifold look like this. But as you can see, even though I did it in the wrong orientation, it still works. we're still able to fold up, fold over, fold in, and fold in. We just have an overlapping bifold, whereas on this one, when we fold up, fold over, the bifold meets like that. No biggie, you can do it either way. But I wanted to make sure that I pointed it out, because if it does happen to you, I just want you to know that your project is not lost. So I'm taking my magnet and I place that magnet right there, and I am going to take just a little bit of tape, fold over so that it will catch that magnet. There's the magnet right there. So now I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it right there like that. And I'm going to use my glue. So it's just a simple cut apart. Y'all, we're keeping it very, very simple. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to put it right there like that. And so now we have another really sweet, unique greeting card idea that we can give to someone. Remember, you can make these for any season, any reason, anyone. Simply change the papers, change your embellishments, and this can very easily fit any occasion. Okay, so what if you want to mail it? Well, I'm going to show you very easily how to figure out your envelope size. So I'm going to be placing this in my envelope like this, and it's going to go in at 5.5. When I put this in, it goes in at 5.5. I am just going to go ahead and score like this. Then I know that I need to take this piece and we need to double it, because envelopes will fold up like this. So when you double that envelope, and this is true for any size that you're making, wherever it hits here, add 1/8 of an inch to give yourself just a little bit of fold over room. You see that fold over space between where I scored and this space? That's what you want to do. So now I'm going to take this, and I know that it's 6 inches this way, so I want to add 1 inch on both sides. So that's going to make it 8 inches. And again, I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch just to give myself a buffer. So I'm going to take that 6 inches, move over to 8 because that gives me 1 inch on both sides, and then I'm going to add 1/8 of an inch. So I know that I can cut this off at 8 1/8 by 12. So then on the 8 1/8 inch side, I need to score at 1. Rotate to the opposite 8 1/8 inch side and score at 1. So now I can take this, we can fold and burnish all of our scores. And now hopefully you can see where I have this piece and then the next score. You need that little bit of buffer room in there. And that's why I added that 1/8 of an inch. And I am just folding and burnishing all of my scores. And I don't like this little narrow fold over flap here, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that. So here in the middle, we have this tab, and I am just going to angle in because I want to free that tab. Now I'm going to cut in at an angle to remove this bottom piece. Let's do the same thing here. Let's cut in at an angle to free the tab. Then I'll cut in at an angle as I'm cutting down to free the corner piece. So now I'm going to turn it this way, but this time I am just going to cut straight down on my score marks like that. So now I'm going to take my scissors and just round the ends on the bottom. If you don't have a corner rounder, you can certainly use your scissors. Then I'm going to fold this in like this. Take some tape, put some tape right there, tape right there. You can use glue if you want. And I'll add tape along this end. Then let's fold up. And now we have an envelope. But again, I don't like this narrow flap here, especially since I'm putting a pretty decorative card on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in some scrap and we're going to create a little extender for the envelope flap. So my flap is 6 inches. I am going to cut off a piece that is 6 inches. And I think that this is 4 inches wide, but it all depends on how wide you want yours to be. This time I am going to use my tape, and I am going to place some tape right along the score mark, but not on the score mark. So basically, let me go ahead and cut this and I'll show you what I did. So I took that tape and I placed it right there on the outer part of that fold. Then I'm going to take some more tape. We're going to place that tape here. And then I'm going to take this piece and just run a little piece of tape across the top. Now this envelope is mailable within the USPS, but you need to make sure you check with your post office to see if any additional postage is going to be needed, because it's a little heavier card and it has a little bit of thickness to it. Now if you're outside of the US, make sure you check with your local postal authority about mailing something this size. So I am going to peel away my backers, peel away my backer from here, and then all I'm going to do is take these two pieces with the tape on this end, and I am just going to join it to this piece. And I have created a nice long flap, but looks kind of wonky right now, and that's okay, because now I can go in and cut down at an angle the way I did on the other end. And I'm going to do this with my scissors because sometimes my finger blade can get caught in that glue or that tape. So now I'll take this part, we'll round it, and we'll round this part. And now we can fold over, and you see we have a really beautiful envelope. If you don't like how wide this part is, you can cut it off and make it smaller, but I like the way that that looks. So if you are ever making an envelope and you're not too happy with how the flap looks, just grab a complimentary piece or more of the same type paper and just extend that flap in the way that we just did. Now I can take my card, we can put our card in the envelope, and we can fold over. And you can see that there is some thickness to this. That's why I said make sure you check with your post office to see if there's any additional postage required. For those of you who might want to address the outside, you can do that very easily with a mailing label. These are thin enough that you can actually take these and put them down to address that envelope. They will definitely stay flat. So something like that is definitely a way for you to be able to address your envelopes. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to bring this one in, my bifold card and envelope. Y'all, that was some easy peasy paper crafting, but look at what we ended up with. I just think that this is absolutely gorgeous, and I think that it is a beautiful way to send a handcrafted message of love and appreciation to someone. So I hope that this has served as an inspiration for you to pull out some of your favorite paper. You can see that it didn't take much, some stickers, and some scraps, and to create a happy memory, a happy keepsake to someone that you would give it to. If you have enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope that you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, all day, every day, y'all, I'm going to bring you the best, and I would love to have you subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful, crafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.